Black Adam is the brand new DCEU film that hit theaters on October 21st. The film stars Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Aldous Hodge, Pierce Brosnan, Noah Centineo, Sarah Shahi, Quintensa Swindell, Marwan Kenzari, and Viola Davis. And is about nearly 5,000 years after being imprisoned by Egyptian gods. Black Adam rises out of this imprisonment and wants to wreak havoc on the modern world as the Justice Society comes in and tries to protect this town. The film is 2 hours and 4 minutes long and is PG-13. Welcome back to a brand new movie review here in Max Talks Movies. We're talking about Black Adam, the only DCEU film of the year. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, ring the bell if you're new to the channel. I do movie reviews, TV show reviews, movie rankings, and a box office breakdown show. So please subscribe, ring the bell if you're new to the channel. As well, please like the video, guys, the thumbs up button down below. That really helps support this channel, and comment down below. This is a non-spoiler review. I will be doing a spoiler review on Monday, giving everyone the chance the whole weekend to watch the movie before I go into spoilers. So no spoilers here in the comment section, but if you saw the movie, did you like it, not like it? And if you have not seen it, tell me, are you going to watch this in the theater or are you going to wait for it to come out on streaming later? What are your thoughts on this movie, expectation level? Let's get into Black Adam. So for me, I'm gonna go my positives, my negatives, then my score out of 5 stars. So I think there's two huge positives from the character and cast point of view, and that really is Hawkman and Dr. Fate. Aldous Hodge, who plays Hawkman, and Dr. Fate, played by Pierce Brosnan. They're by far and away the most interesting characters of the entire film and have the coolest power set in the entire film. And they actually felt like they had character development from the beginning of the movie to the end of the movie. Really, the Justice Society as a whole, which is the team with Hawkman, Dr. Fate, Atom Smasher, and Cyclone. I think Quintessa Swindell and Noah Swindell plays Cyclone, and Noah Centineo plays Atom Smasher. They have stuff to do in the movie, but they're just nowhere near the amount of screen time that Hawkman and Dr. Fate get. But really, the Justice Society as a whole, for me, was the best part of the movie. They're a very interesting group, as you see in the trailer. It is Viola Davis's Amanda Waller that is the one who her and Hawkman together put this team together. Really, Hawkman puts the team together, and Waller once Black Adam dealt with. Hawkman really is the leader of the Justice Society. He is a very interesting sort of morals that obviously clashes with Black Adam's morals. And that's one of the more dynamic relationships in the movie is, Hawkman's belief in being a hero and just seeing things as a hero and a villain, and Black Adam, who is really in between. He isn't a villain. He's not a hero. He likes to kill people. He doesn't see himself as either of the two. So those two coming together, I like the philosophy of those two type of characters meeting up and talking. Pierce Brosnan for me was the best part of the movie. His whole character, if you don't know Dr. Fate, he can see the future, and the shots with him taking off his mask, putting the mask on, just his whole power set for me was just the coolest aspect of the movie. Now, yes, the Justice Society, especially the mansion, Hawkman's house, clearly feels like the X-Men, especially the ship that they're on, that they fly into this town on. But it wasn't too distracting. As a whole, I also thought the action was done very well. I wasn't bored with any of the action during the movie, especially when the Justice Society gets to face off against Black Adam. It's a lot of fun with all these different power sets going at each other. The action for me was actually really good. That it was actually made the film a lot more fun than I think the script thinks it is. I think it's definitely a fun movie. I'll get to the script and my negatives in a second, but as a whole, the cast, again, The Rock is The Rock. This is not, obviously they're trying to build it like this is The Rock doing something totally different. And sure, he isn't over the top trying to be funny every scene like he is in all of these other movies, but it's definitely still The Rock. He has his rockisms still in this movie, which I think a lot of people want. And I feel like what will be more impactful for the DC universe is what he's building for DC as a producer more than his performance as Black Adam. I think he's good as Black Adam. There's nothing wrong with The Rock's performance, but it just wasn't like anything like this is going to be a special, iconic character when you're watching the movie. The Rock is very good, but I think what he's setting up as a producer moving forward, I think is way more exciting than him acting as Black Adam. That for me is just what it is. Obviously, we need him to play Black Adam to be a producer, but you know what I'm talking about. He's been wanting to play this role for over 10 years now. And he's definitely very good in the role, but there was nothing special about the performance as well. Marwan Kenzari plays a pretty predictable character. We'll get to him in a second. As well. And it was also just nice to see. This is also a DC movie that obviously this is in the DCEU, and this is one of the rare DC films, in my opinion, that it actually feels like a universe and not forcefully feeding you this is in the same universe. Of course, things connect. This is in the same world as the other DC films, and I find that this is one of the rare DCEU films that doesn't feel like it's forcing the universe on you as an audience. It's very they're not stopping to be like, oh my God, this character showed up. Oh my God, this is a big deal. I'm saying in the movie itself, it just plays out like it is a universe. I think that's what Marvel's done so well. When other characters show up in other properties, there's not this, it's cool to see them, but it's the same universe. I think that the Black Adam, the movie, did a really good job at doing that. So while I had this cast is really fantastic, and especially the really great job they did with the Justice Society with Aldis Hodge and Pierce Brosnan, and the action stuff, all of that was really good for me. And there were some great elements into all of those aspects as well. But there's also some really bad and not great executed stuff as well. And the biggest problem with this movie by a lot is the script. This script is just not a very good script, really, from start to finish, because as I said, not many characters have any character development in the entire movie. It wants to go action, and then it takes like a 10-minute break. Someone's taken, we need to do another action scene. I'm cool with a lot of action in your movie, but there wasn't really any character you were connecting with throughout the entire film. Of the main characters, they try to really humanize this town, which I'm all for, but the more interesting thing, obviously, is the bigger action things going on with our characters, which is what the script is telling you, like, oh, the town's all right, but let's watch the big CGI fight scenes. I just didn't feel like the balance of these it's not over the top, but just these larger than life action scenes and godlike characters, and then trying to humanize a town. Sometimes it didn't balance that well. There was at times really forced comedy. And I know that a lot of people don't love DC as much because it's so serious and so dark. And I feel like this film has some comedy. I think the comedy, actually, the banter between Pierce Brosnan and Dwayne Johnson is really funny. And is the best dynamic that The Rock has with anyone in the whole movie. But other than those two going back and forth with like sarcasm and those type of jokes, which I thought were funny, the rest of the comedy was just very forced. And it definitely pulled me out of the movie at certain times. It could definitely be serious. Again, DC shouldn't be trying to be Marvel. And this movie doesn't need to be this hilarious movie. The sarcasm jokes were really good. That's all there had to be. But there's a lot of forced humor that fell really flat. My whole theater just wasn't really laughing that much during the movie. And this movie does try for tons of jokes. So that's not really a good thing. As I said, there just aren't too many character growths. As I said, there's dynamics that are good because of the character's morals. But really, Hawkman and maybe Black Adam learn something by the end of the movie about themselves. But other than that, there just isn't enough character development for this whole movie. And again, I wasn't emotionally attached to anyone. I thought all these characters a lot of them were really cool. The designs were cool. The power sets were cool. But there was just no one I was emotionally gravitating to. I never felt that a lot of the characters were in danger that often. There wasn't that intensity that I think this film was definitely missing, especially from a godlike character. You should feel intense every time he's on screen fighting a possible someone who you're rooting for, and you just never felt that during the movie. It's just all over, and at times it's a stupid movie. This is a very stupid movie, which if you're used to The Rock's movies, if you love all of The Rock's movies, then you're going to love this movie because it's a very much The Rock feeling movie, which is a really he's a very fun lead actor, and the movies themselves can be fun, but they're pretty forgettable and stupid movies. And that's what this feels, a very forgettable, stupid DC film. I'm not saying it's bad, but it's a stupid movie. There are not a lot of rules that are really going on here. and it can get pretty over the top for some people. But again, and this is the second time The Rock has worked with this director. They just worked together doing this director also directed Jungle Cruise, which came out last year, which is definitely a better movie than Black Adam. But as a whole, I found this is the script does kill the movie at times. There's a lot of forced humor, and there just isn't emotionally attachment to any character, and there just isn't a lot of character growth or development in the film. But other than that, again, I said I really like the actors in the roles. The characters had really cool things about them. But for me, this is a very middle of the road movie. There are some aspects of this movie that also the score was really good by Lauren Balfe, but there's some aspects of this movie that's why it's so frustrating. There's some aspects of this movie that are great elements and really great for the DC. And then there's also elements that are done really bad, not great CGI. And there's some elements that just aren't executed, which really comes down to the script. So overall, I'm going to give Black Adam a 2.5 out of 5. I'm going to go 53% for Black Adam. It's definitely an average movie to me in that 2.5, but 53% is my rating for Black Adam. I don't think this is a bad movie, but I also don't think it's a very good one as well. So that's my thoughts on Black Adam. My more videos are coming down the line involving Black Adam. Also, stay tuned. There is a mid-credit scene, just a mid-credit scene if you see this movie. So on Monday, we're going to do my box office breakdown show, breaking down how does Black Adam do at the box office. We're also going to do a spoiler review of Black Adam, talking about that mid-credit scene and a lot of the other stuff that happens during the movie and the future of this character beyond this movie. I'm also gonna finally do a full DCEU ranking update. I used to do rankings and then I kind of stopped. With these big movies, I do want to do my rankings and tell you guys where this movie stands. So I'm gonna do a DCEU ranking sometime this week when I find the time to do that. It's already set, so I just have to find time to film the video. Also, Andor review episode 8, that'll be on Wednesday. More reviews are coming. I'll see you guys.